7th season for Cherry Creek and Montbello, a couple non-league rivals going at one another here. And on the kickoff, Charles Zeller will scamper out of bounds on the far side. And that is where Jack Elway and the Cherry Creek Bruins will open up their first offensive possession of the year.
Brian, you may be asking yourself, you may not, but folks at home may be asking, why are we at Legacy Stadium? Creek's in their home blue. Well, this is their home game. Problem is they're tearing up the track at the Stutler Bowl. So neutral site, kind of. It is in the Cherry Creek School District, but really this is a home game. So kind of an odd situation. Cherry Creek had to travel just like Montbello to come here. One of the few schools in the district, of course, that they get to play home games.
Yeah, Cherry Creek, of course, use their own locker room when they play over there at the Stutler Bowl. So the Cherry Creek Bruins will be out first down and 10 here on their own 35-yard line.
There's that brand new offense up under center for this season.
They win mostly from the gun of a season ago. Elway in trouble. Reverses field. Elway still looking, fires downfield, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his intended receiver, Alex Johnson. So to bring up second down and 10 for the Cherry Creek Bruins. And there's head coach Greg Critchett in his fourth season. Check that, rather, the fifth season for head coach Greg Critchett and this Cherry Creek football program. Greg Critchett, former head coach at the University of New Mexico Highlands. An eligible receiver downfield, and that's a penalty against Cherry Creek.
Well, first play out of the box, and you can see that pressure coming from Montbello. That's what they want to do defensively. They really want to try to get after Elway, really test this line, who has one returning starter, but they've got some solid men. Those front five are pretty good.
First down and 15. Elway again to throws, fires over the middle. That's complete up to the 41-yard line. Elway was able to hit Thomas McCauley that time, and Cherry Creek will have a second and a very manageable 5. Cherry Creek, a team that went 6-5 of the season ago. Bruins did get that first-round playoff win over Arvada West in what was one of the best games of the season last year. Second down and short after the gain of 13 yards. Elway going to go to the ground for the first time, and just not much room. Perhaps a gain of a yard for the back, Roman Holmes. Holmes is senior. He did see some time at the varsity level of a year ago. There's Holmes wearing number 25. That'll bring up third down and short. Getting into Montbello, team that went 2-7 last year. They were one of a handful of teams that missed the playoffs. They had some coaching issues last year. We mentioned that in the pregame show. John Pounder opened up the season as the head coach. A few games in, he exited the team. Holmes again. This is on third down. Big hole, first down and more. Holmes inside Montbello territory. Lost the football, but they'll call him down by contact. Boy, near disaster for Cherry Creek. Call it a gain of about 14 yards on the play for Roman Holmes. And the chains will move for the Cherry Creek Bruins.
Key play there, you've got to get that running game going, certainly. That's not the high-flying offense necessarily that Greg Critchett has had over the last few years. A little more conventional, a little more run-based, so you can keep the guys off of Elway.
Elway again under duress, going to fire downfield, has a man down there. It's incomplete. Looking for Austin Wilbers, and the safety was coming over looking for the pick. Elway had just enough on it, incomplete. That'll bring up second and 10.
Ball's rattled around in the receiver's hands a couple of times, and where you can see that time his receiver just kind of got turned around, got hung up with the DB. But chance was there. He could have made a clean break that time and turned around and at least caught the ball in his vision. Would have been able to get his hands up there a little bit quicker.
Second down and 10 for Cherry Creek, opening offensive possession of the game. Elway will fire to the far side. This ball completed. A gain of about 7 yards on the play. Went to his wideout. That's Thomas Papillion. He's another guy that played last season for Great Critchett and the Bruins. He's a good-looking wide receiver, a big kid as well, is Papillion, 6'4", and again, just a junior.
Seniors Marcus Crowder and Eric Coleman, the DBs and linebacker that were over there to make that play for Montbello, and it's going to be key for them. They've got a good defensive line. They've got better backers. He really feels like they're very strong in the middle. Those backers have got to get side to side to stop this, what we see now, trips coming out at them.
Third down and 3 for Cherry Creek. Give to Holmes. Missed tackle in the backfield, and Holmes will have enough for the first down. Holmes to the 23, perhaps the 22-yard line. Boy, that was nearly a stop for a loss for that Warrior defense. Instead, call it a gain of 11.
Well, and when you've got offensive guys having to catch him from behind because he's kind of juking around, misses a tackle, Dijon Johnson actually or Dijon Jackson, that is, actually had to come from his down lineman position, get back there and help on that tackle that time. That's not a good sign.
First down and 10. Bruins methodically on their opening drive of the game, moving down the field. Done a little through the air, a little bit on the ground. Here's Holmes. He's done most of the damage on the ground that time. The Warrior defense in a little bit better position. Anthony Rattler, the 6'1" senior defensive back, making the stop that time.
Yeah, Brandon Gossett got in there and kind of messed up things there with the offense too, as he kind of shot through one of those gaps as well. There just wasn't any place for the running back to go.
Second down and 9 after the gain of 1. Inside 8 minutes now to go in the opening quarter of play.
I guess I didn't notice it much when I was down on the field, but the wind is blowing pretty hard here. At least it's at the backs of Cherry Creek right now.
Corey Lopez, did you forget where we were? We're out at Legacy Stadium. It's always windy here. Elway going to go over the middle. Holmes just sat down in the coverage. That's another Bruin first down inside the 10.
Nearly every team that's a passing team will use that in their offense, and that is go stand by the umpire. Just go right in there, because defenders get a little mixed up. All of a sudden they look, umpire's there, okay. And the running back came out, where's he at? Oh, he's standing by the umpire. It's just that fast. And, you know, in the National Football League in the preseason, they've been working and taking those umpires and putting them in the offensive backfield because they were getting run over so many times. And it's actually in Arena League football illegal to use the umpire as a pick. You can do it in the National Football League. You can do it in high school, and that's kind of what happened there.
Deshaun Levy has checked in the football game for Cherry Creek. He's in the backfield to get penalty markers. Delay of game is going to be called against Cherry Creek. So a first and goal from the 9 will be a first and goal from the 14.
Well, the first hiccup we've really seen here, outside of a couple of nice defensive plays on some run stops by Montbello, but this is the first hiccup that we've seen from Cherry Creek, really, where they've kind of stopped themselves. We'll see how they kind of come out after this, but it's interesting, very balanced. They've gone nearly 50-50 with each of the plays here, and it's been a very long and very good sustained drive.
7:03 to go, opening quarter. We'll step aside. Timeout Montbello. We have no score from Legacy Stadium.
Hey coaches, are you planning to hold a camp, competition, or other sporting event? Well, sports injuries can happen anytime, any place, and you need to be prepared for that. The Camp Team, the official insurance provider for many national and world champions, offers a wide array of insurance for athletes, sporting events, and sports facilities. The Camp Team's goal is simple: to provide a comprehensive insurance plan at an affordable rate to allow our clients maximum coverage. For a free quote, call the Camp Team at 303-422-2057.
On Friday evenings, Skate City is the place to be for all students of middle school age. Large, energized crowds cruising to their favorite music and music videos. With Skate City's new big screen, the fun never slows down. Brand new rental skates for quad and inline skaters, plus a friendly environment makes for a safe and enjoyable social evening at your local Skate City. So come on down to your local Skate City every Friday evening from 6 to 10 p.m.
These are your memories.
Those you've always dreamed of, or those you've just discovered. Fill your lives with each precious moment. Welcome home, Colorado. We're CET, Comcast Entertainment Television.
Colorado is the best for sports lovers. It can be hard to keep up with your favorite teams. Well, not anymore. Watch the Mile High Sports Show. For the inside scoop on all Denver teams. From draft day to the playoffs, we've got you covered. So kick back in your favorite chair with our brilliant staff.
watching, huh? The
And consider yourself informed. The Mile High Sports Show. All this month here on CET.
Hi, I'm Amy Strand for Premium TV. Join me for a preview of the best movies and original series available this month on Digital Cable's premium channels. With Digital Cable, you can get multiple channels of HBO, Showtime, Stars, and more. All those channels means lots of great program choices. Plus, interactive features you can't get with standard cable. So join me each month for Premium TV and see the best that Digital Cable has to offer.
You're looking at Cherry Creek cheerleaders on a Friday afternoon, and again, this game being played at Legacy Stadium, despite the fact it's a Cherry Creek home game. The track over at the Stutler Bowl still yet to be finished. And now here we are. We find ourselves a 4 o'clock afternoon kickoff at Legacy Stadium. First and goal from the 14. In the right flat, complete to Wilburns, trying to break a tackle. Down to the 8-yard line goes Wilburns. In on the tackle, Savon Cadd, the junior.
Yep, and the coverage on that was Cameron Turner from Montbello. And again, that's just a nice, quick out run that time. And Turner, for all his troubles trying to stay with the receiver there, got a stiff arm right in the face mask, too.
Elway 5 completed passes. Check that, rather, 4 completed passes to 4 different receivers. Wilburns being the 4th, 6:28 to go. Opening quarter play, second down and goal, sprint draw. Holmes up to the 6. Brought down by Josh Evans.
Yeah, Evans, the big 6'1 junior there, 240 pounds, did a nice job. Shedded his block that time, really got out and got to the edge very, very quickly for a big man that time. It was interesting with the call on that because the defenders had really shoved up about 9 guys in the box. They were running 3 guys up front and then shoved. You had what looked like 5 or 6 linebackers. Obviously, it was the 4 linebackers that squeezed up there on that. And then running this 3-4 defense, you saw the DBs also squeeze up. They were ready for that.
So to bring up 3rd down and goal for Cherry Creek. 3 wide receivers set. Elway to the flat. Holmes trying to get to the corner. He will. Touchdown, Cherry Creek. Holmes had to beat Eric Coleman to the corner, and he did just that. And the Bruins strike first on 3rd and goal.
Great play call. It had worked before. They didn't quite get as many yards as they'd wanted, but again, that's just your receiver just squeezing off to the right side there and saying, hey, that outside linebacker, try to stay with me. I think I'm faster and I can get to the pylon, and that's what happened.
Elway to Holmes for the opening score of the 07 season for the Cherry Creek Bruins. Now Robert Willenbrock back to attempt the extra point. And a muff snap. Creek's in trouble. Boy, and now.
Well, you can't
Boy,
get 2 points out of it the other way.
No, you can't.
At least not in high school football.
5:30 to go, and, well, the extra point wasn't very pretty, but the drive was. Bruins march right down the field. They lead Montbello by the score of 6-0 on CET Sports.
For a great birthday party on wheels, come to Skate City. For just $99, 12 guests and the birthday child can have 2 hours of birthday fun. This price includes cake, ice cream, soft drinks, party favors, and the table setting supplies. 3 14-inch fresh-baked pizzas can be added for just $30, or everyone can have a hot dog and chips for just $15. For the best birthday party value in Colorado, call Skate City today.
Hey coaches, are you planning to hold a camp, competition, or other sporting event? Well, sports injuries can happen anytime, any place, and you need to be prepared for that. The Camp Team, the official insurance provider for many national and world champions, offers a wide array of insurance for athletes, sporting events, and sports facilities. The Camp Team's goal is simple: to provide a comprehensive insurance plan at an affordable rate to allow our clients maximum coverage. For a free quote, call the Camp Team at 303-422-2057.
Are you looking for a new best friend? Now it's easier than ever to find the perfect furry companion at Pet Adoptions on Demand. We'll introduce you to cats and dogs of every size, breed, and disposition, each one waiting for a place to call home. Visit Pet Adoptions in the On Demand menu under Your Colorado.
I don't really know if they should put this show on the tube. It's going to give all the secrets are going to be out.
It's a ridiculous show.
Lock the door, call the police.
I'm one decision away from that suit right there, dude.
The cream of wheat good here.
I'm not athletic, but I'm quick, see?
Scary, man. That's scary.
Masters TV every Wednesday and Thursday night at 11 and Friday nights at 10.
It's exhausting.
Guys, can't we just get along?
Oh, sorry, Governor.
The two teams first collided in 1893. They didn't care too much for each other back then. Some things never change. The Rocky Mountain Showdown rages on when the University of Colorado battles Colorado State University. Hear what former coaches and players have to say about the other guys. CU versus CSU, the rivalry. Check Comcast.com/CET for showtimes.
6-0 the score as Cherry Creek is on top of Montbello. There's a good look. Sean Feldman, first season head coach of the Montbello Warriors, trying to get that proud football program back on track. They do have some returning pieces in place coming into the season. We'll see how it shakes out for the Warriors. And the Warriors in this contest last year against Cherry Creek, a game we also had on CET, gave up 56 against Cherry Creek. Willenbrock puts this one deep out of the end zone, and the Montbello Warriors will start first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
9 plays, 75 yards, and they burned off 6.5 minutes on that drive there for that touchdown Elway to Holmes. And what a beautiful drive for Cherry Creek to start off. But that's exactly how you want to start off the season. Good, strong, sustained drive. Get down there, get some points.
So James Johnson, the Aurora Central transfer, will lead Montbello back out on the field. Montbello coming with that powerhouse backfield. Ryan Long in there as well. Ryan Long will get the carry. Boy, is he a big back. We remember Ryan Long from a season ago. Got a lot of playing time as a junior. The 6', 235-pound tailback.
That's a
Slash
load of
fullback.
That's a load of hurt coming at you every
no
time he
question.
gets the ball. Well, and all the transfers that came in, Long is a guy who stuck around here, and you're right, we called his name a lot last year. He's going to get the ball an awful lot here as they kind of set in that power eye.
After the gain of 3, it'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Give to the second man through. That's Cad. Not much there. Perhaps a gain of a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, we talked about embracing the unknown. I mean, really, they don't know what they're going to get out of this. And when they came out here for Montbello, they've scrimmaged, they exchanged scrimmage film with Cherry Creek. But again, they're more worried about what they're going to do as opposed to what Cherry Creek's going to throw at them. They've really got to try to find themselves a comfortable mode to really be in. And Savin Cad is one of those guys, another transfer. He came over from Overland.
3rd down and 6 for Montbello. They need the 30-yard line. This is Cad again on the toss. Cut up field, will spin for the 1st down. Finally brought down on the play by Matt Heppard, another one of those returning starters on that Bruin defense.
Boy, what a great job by Cad that time, really spinning his way through there. The hole was there. Just couldn't really pick up any speed, but every time he kind of had some contact, he just kind of spun away from it, but kept heading north and south. Or I guess in this case, east and west is the way that it works out, but kept going forward on the football field.
1st and 10 for Johnson and the Warriors. Getting that power line backfield. Fumble on the snap, getting kicked around. Cherry Creek looks as if they might have it, and they do.
TJ Shantz, Tyler Shantz, right on top of it. He is the big returning defender was the MVP of this team last year for the Bruins. And that ball got kicked around, as you mentioned, Brian, by the lineman that time. And Shantz was just savvy enough to see that ball rolling around, shed his block, and actually fell right on top of it.
TJ Shantz, he was one of the big hitters on this defense last year as a sophomore. Hard to believe he is just a junior.
I know, isn't that something? MVP. Defensively, coming back as a junior.
One of the top baseball players for Mark Johnson's Bruin baseball team. Their shortstop, Elway, going to go back to the air. And Elway will go down. Getting in there for the sack was Marvin Moore, the big 275-pound defensive tackle.
Well, and a good job by Elway to hang on to that football. Don't force it. He was in trouble. He was trying to escape, but he had tucked that ball away. Didn't have it just hanging out there. He had tucked it away. He was trying to get loose. If he was able to get loose, he'd pull it back out, look for somebody to throw to. You know what? Sometimes you just got to take the sack. They've got a good enough offense, at least what they've shown on that first drive. You can come back and make up those 3 yards.
Inside 3 minutes now to go in the opening quarter of play. Bruins looking for more. Elway, 7-step drop. Will fire. Caught at the 20-yard line. I believe it was Thomas McCauley, and indeed it was.
Great route by McCauley that time as he shot down the field. Really a little dancing, did a little zigzag move a little bit to get his DB to kind of think he was going to run that fly route, take it all the way down that right side, and then just curled himself right back in toward the middle of the field. Still caught it right around the numbers that time, and that ball was delivered right on the money by Elway.
Gain of 16, Elway to McCauley, and Jack Elway, nice start to this 2007 season. 6 of 8, 59 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, real efficient, and he's not dinking and dunking either.
Roman Holmes trying to get to the corner. Boy, hit hard out of bounds. Penalty marker on the play.
I don't know if that's going to be a late hit, but boy, I think he crossed that wide line. Eric Coleman gave him a pop, though. That preliminary looks like it's a holding penalty out there on the outside edge. Something that Coach from Montbello told us, and that is they're strong up the middle. He's got good backers. His line, his defensive line, pretty good. They've got 7 returners from last season, and they've done a nice job to get to the edges, but they're being thrown off by the balance that has been thrown at them as well, passing and running. They can't set on one.
First down at 22 now for Cherry Creek. Ball at the 32-yard line. Elway wants it all. Deep far side. Looking for McCauley. Got it. Touchdown. McCauley bobbled it. Was able to hold on to it. A 32-yard touchdown strike. And the Bruins lead 12-0.
Oh, what a great catch that time. And Marcus Crowder was right in his hip pocket. I mean, great coverage. The pass delivered perfectly, right over the shoulder, over the helmet. That's a tough catch for a receiver to make. That's the only place that Elway was going to be able to put the ball, though, because the defender was actually doing a nice job of coverage.
Thomas McCauley, the senior, hauls in his second catch on the drive. That one good for 32 yards, and the Bruins looking good to start the 07 campaign. See if McCauley can hold on to the snap here now. Able to do it this time, and the extra point is up, and it is through. 2:15 to go here now in the opening quarter. We're going to keep it here, but how about the start for Cherry Creek? And Corey Lopez, how about the start for Jack Elway? He's 7 of 9, good for 91 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, the rest of the Centennial League had better take notice here. This is going to be a great race here in this Centennial Conference. Pretty wide open this season with Mullen losing a lot of players to graduation, 34 players to graduation. So you're not sure who's going to step up. I'll tell you what, early start. This score is going to be posted quickly when folks go to the ball games tonight. Everybody's going to hear about just how good, if this continues for Cherry Creek, just how good the Bruins really are, and especially if Elway keeps being as, what do I want to say, dominant and smart as he has been as a leader on the offensive side of the ball.
Boy, what a start. I know there are a lot of people around the state wondering how Jack Elway was going to come out in his senior season. Again, getting a lot of looks from Division I teams, and not just Division I teams, big-time Division I teams from the SEC to the Pac-10. And he did not put up huge numbers last year, Corey. He didn't. And then, of course, he was hurt, missed about 4 games of a season ago. But here he is back in his senior season. I think people are still kind of wondering just how good he is. Well, it's a good start so far to this 07 season.
Well, Coach Critchett told us, too, you know, because I asked him about changing the offense, whether it was for Elway or not. And he said, you know what, with the type of offense that they were running, and they were running that shotgun option offense, he says you really need 2 quarterbacks. He says your quarterback's going to get dinged up a lot. And he said that's what happened. That's what happened to Jack last year. He got hurt. They were running another guy last year at quarterback. Fantastic. But you need to have one solid leader. Well, then it's time to take it up under center, and it's time to get down to business that way. And you protect him. You don't leave him out in the open by running an option game.
Movement on the near side of that offensive front for Montbello. The Warriors offensively, their first offensive possession. Able to run the football 3 plays. They picked up the first down. Then on 1st and 10, they fumbled a snap. And Cherry Creek made them pay.
Well, a quick 13-0 lead. We're not even out of the first quarter here. And the defense, well, we haven't seen much of the defense. As you mentioned, Brian, they got through a short series before they dropped the ball, and that wasn't the doing of the defense. That was a little bit of the unknown. These guys getting used to each other. Another problem on the snap there. We see it again. These guys just aren't used to each other yet. And so this was something Coach Feldman was a little concerned about live action. What was going to happen when they saw another team, another 11 guys in different uniforms in front of a crowd.
Well, Marvin Moore, the center on this Montbello football team. Moore and James Johnson getting their wires crossed a little bit. It's already cost them 1 turnover. They were able to avert another by falling on it that time.
Well, let's see what they go to the passing game. Coach Feldman said that Johnson's got an arm on him. He does a nice job when he drops back and passes here, and they've got a long second down here.
Up to the 18-yard line, gain of 3 on 2nd down and 15.
Solid, pretty basic play is what they're going at. I mean, obviously they're going to go long here an awful lot, try to pound it through there. But they're in that power eye, and they're just kind of going left and right, kind of testing things out. I mean, they're really still trying to feel Cherry Creek out, yet they're down 13-0 very quickly.
This game last year, again, Cherry Creek won it by the score of 56-20. It was out at All City Stadium. It was a close game in the first half. Late in the first half was 21-13. Bruins led. Bruins had a late touchdown to go into halftime, 28-13, and then rolled from that point. And we're going to get a delay of game against Montbello. Not the start Montbello was looking for. Coming into this contest, they did come in as the underdog. Tough way to open up the season for Sean Feldman's squad, to open up against a very good Cherry Creek football team. But it doesn't get any easier, does it? You and I were talking about it, Corey. Mullen coming up next. Pass to the near side. It's completed for perhaps a gain of 1 on the play. It was Nathan Robinson, the man coming down with it. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier. You got Mullen, Ralston Valley. And you know what? You're in a small conference, too. You only have 3 other teams that you're playing, so you're trying to get those non-conference schedules. And Coach Feldman said to me, you know what? Go down to 4A if you can't handle the competition. He says, seriously. He would like to have a 0 week. He would like to have had a 0 week so that he could kind of get his guys together and not have to play such a tough team. But you know what? He says if we shy away from these teams, we should be playing Class 4A anyway. So, and the way it sets out, 6 of the teams that they're playing, 3 in the top 10 in Class 5A, 3 in the top 10 in Class 4A.
Well, that'll do it for the opening quarter of play. It's all Cherry Creek this afternoon from Legacy Stadium in Aurora. After 1, the Bruins 13, the Warriors nothing on CET Sports.
For a great birthday party on wheels, come to Skate City. For just $99, 12 guests and the birthday child can have 2 hours of birthday fun. This price includes cake, ice cream, soft drinks, party favors, and the table setting supplies. 3 14-inch fresh-baked pizzas can be added for just $30, or everyone can have a hot dog and chips for just $15. For the best birthday party value in Colorado, call Skate City today.
Hey coaches, are you planning to hold a camp, competition, or other sporting event? Well, sports injuries can happen anytime, any place, and you need to be prepared for that. The Camp Team, the official insurance provider for many national and world champions, offers a wide array of insurance for athletes, sporting events, and sports facilities. The Camp Team's goal is simple: to provide a comprehensive insurance plan at an affordable rate to allow our clients maximum coverage. For a free quote, call the Camp Team at 303-422-2057.
Celebrate a rich culture and discover the musicians, the athletes, and the stars who inspire us all. Urban Latino captures the journey, culture, and lifestyle of a rich tradition. Go to www.comcast.com/CET for this month's program schedule and watch Urban Latino right here on CET. It should be the best day of your life. And it's usually the most expensive, too. With so many details and decisions, you're going to need some help. Hear from the experts who know what it takes to make a wedding amazing. Before you say I do, consult with American Bride TV. Watch it all this month here on CET. Your life is a blank canvas, and you can paint it with whatever colors you choose. The Art of Living celebrates ordinary people from around the country who are living extraordinary lives. It's part of the Retirement Living series. Learn more about The Art of Living weekday afternoons at 1, right here on CET.
Start of the second quarter here at Legacy Stadium. Anthony Rattler back to kick it away. High snap, able to get this one away. Fielded by Sullivan.
Sullivan just tripped himself up there that time.
Cherry Creek, though, will have pretty good field position for their third offensive possession of the evening. Sullivan coming off the field, a little bit of encouragement from Greg Critchett. Again, Greg Critchett, 5th season as the head coach of the Cherry Creek Bruins. We mentioned Critchett was the head coach down in New Mexico Highlands. His defensive coordinator down there, a man named Eric Rice, who's now the Fort Collins head coach. You look down about 5 rows from the press box here, and who do you see? You see Eric Rice.
Yeah.
Out scouting the Bruins. Holmes, not much there on the first down carry. Fine play by Joshua Evans, the linebacker.
Stepped right up, made a nice play that time. Again, fantastic field position. Started their first drive on the 35. Started their next drive on Montbello's 33-yard line. And here they start on Montbello's 48 to start things off here.
By the way, the Bruins will head up to Fort Collins to take on those Fort Collins Lambkins a week from today up at French Field. Should be a good one. Fort Collins could be just a bit down this year. 2nd down and 9 after the gain of 1. Elway. Another dart to the near side to McCauley. They had penalty markers on the play.
Tyree Yates with nice coverage that time on a short gain. We watched him warm up this way. A little 7-on-7 drill.
goes against Cherry Creek. 5-yard penalty. It's something you expect to see in early season games. Usually a little sloppier than games you see towards the end of September, obviously into October.
Yeah, well, we have to remember this is the first game. You're right, for both teams. You and I are already in the game shape here. We saw a game last week in 0 week, Green Mountain and TJ, and surprisingly not many penalties in that ball game.
That was a well-played football game out at the North Air Athletic Complex. And last night we had Gateway and Douglas County, and my goodness, there was a flag every other play in that contest.
Uh-oh.
Elway going to go back to the air. Second and long, fires down the middle. It's intercepted. A late penalty flag has come onto the field. Eric Coleman, that offensive back, stepped in front of that Elway pass.
Oh, we'll see if Coleman's going to get tagged here with the flag. Saw the yellow hanky come up in the air. Yep. Well, that negates the interception that time. Coleman was right in his pocket that time. I don't know if he was necessarily the one that was guilty of the pass interference that time, but somebody was pushing around outside of the 5 yards.
So Cherry Creek will have the football at the 35. Well, the officials said that Cherry Creek had declined the penalty, which obviously they would not have.
Yeah.
His original indication. Had they declined the penalty, it'd be Montbello football, obviously, at this point.
Right. I don't think that, and I don't know if it was,
they accepted it.
Yeah, if Jack was the one that is probably the captain out there, he probably didn't realize that it was intercepted. He was going to take the yardage, not realizing that he'd thrown it to the wrong jersey.
There you go. That's the correct call there. Automatic first down. So the Bruins now will have it at the 37-yard line. Third offensive possession for the Cherry Creek Bruins. Cherry Creek went down the field after receiving the opening kickoff, then turned a Montbello fumble into a scoring drive. Now here they're looking for more. Up 13-0 on the Warriors. 10:45 left in the opening half. Devon Levy, the deep back, huge hole up the middle. Boy, Levy tried to cut it back and just slipped on this artificial turf at Legacy Stadium.
Outside backers that time were shooting upfield and then trying to get to the backfield that time, and they just crossed him up with him going right up the middle. It's actually inside of that right outside backer and had big yardage until James Johnson was able to kind of hog tie him there.
It wasn't up for a first down. 1st and 10 Bruins inside the 30. But Cherry Creek has gotten the job done through the air, but they've also done a nice job of running the football. It's an experienced offensive front for Cherry Creek. Elway off his bat foot, going to heave this one up, and it's incomplete. A lot of contact down there and by the intended receiver, McCauley, who has already made his presence felt. Getting tangled up with the DB down on the near side, Tyree Yates.
Yeah, that was pretty incidental. And again, that ball was not catchable anyway. So that was a little bit of what was going on. You hear some of the booing going on by the Cherry Creek fans, but nobody was going to catch that ball inbounds anyway.
Corey, I got to be honest. If that was going to go against somebody, I almost thought it was going to go against McCauley.
Getting tied up there and running, trying to run through him.
2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. 7-step drop. Elway on the timing route, incomplete. Alex Johnson, the intended receiver. On the coverage, Savon Cad for Montbello.
Yeah, good coverage that time, and Elway threw that a little sooner than he wanted to because of the pressure, and they're bringing the pressure from all different sides. That time was the outside linebacker that came in that time. And I've got to tell you, for Cherry Creek, Roman Holmes has done a nice job. He's picked up that pressure from those backers. That time it came from the right side. He actually had an inside linebacker blitz the last time around, and he picked him up coming right up through the line. So always had a little time, a little happy feet that time, let it go a little sooner than he wanted, though.
So to bring up 3rd down and 10 for Cherry Creek. Passing down here, they're going to slip Levy out of the backfield. To the 20, that's going to be short.
Got a little dink and dunk that time. Wanted to see if you could maybe find an opening and then let him catch it and then try to do a little bit of running that time. Levy's done a nice job on the ground with the handoffs. Wanted to see if maybe he could do a little bit, but he was right in the teeth of the defense when he made that catch.
That's the sixth different receiver that Elway has gone to this afternoon. Bring up 4th and short. And the Bruins are going to go for it. 4th down and 3 inside the Montbello 20-yard line. 3 receivers set. Again, Levy in the backfield. They'll give it to him on the underneath handoff. We'll cut it back. Levy has the first down, trying to get to the corner. Can't quite do it. Getting to him was Tyree Yates, the senior, but it will move the chains, and the Bruins will have yet another first down.
A little cutback action that time. Offensive line got everybody pushed a little bit to the left side, and a great job that time by Levy, who saw the opening on the backside, went ahead and took that seam, then did a little dancing around right near that first down marker. I think you want him to lower his head, make sure you got the first down. He thought he had big yardage. I think he was probably looking at the end zone there.
1st and 10 from the 12. Levy. Nothing there. On the tackle for Montbello was Kevin Lozandier. Lozandier, 5'11", senior.
One of those linebackers, one of those guys up the middle that has done a nice job. Solid tackler. And in this 3-4 defense, the linebackers are the ones that are going to be filling those holes, and did a nice job right there.
Now the Bruins went with Roman Holmes in the backfield for a majority of the first drive. Now it's Devon Levy in the backfield. 2nd down and 10 from the 12.
Coach Critchett says he's got 3 solid running backs.
Elway into the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown. Papillion has it. Thomas Papillion. And it's 19-0, Cherry Creek.
What do you do if you're a defensive back? That ball again delivered where only his receiver was going to make the catch. This time it was Papillion. And Von Cad had no chance. Even if he was to jump as high as he possibly could from his position, that ball was arcing over the top of him. And the only guy that was going to make the catch was the Bruins receiver.
Comes at the 8:02 mark of the first half, and it's now 19-0. Willen Brock back to attempt the extra point. Movement. They'll move the Bruins half the distance to the goal line to attempt the extra point once again. How about Jack Elway, his 2007 senior debut? 9 of 13, 109 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Well, pretty impressive, I've got to tell you. And again, I think it was just time to finally get down to playing some football here. There was an awful lot made of the Bruins, an awful lot made of Hall of Fame quarterback John Elway coming in to coach, and to coach his son, who's already had a big spotlight shined on him. And you know what? Jack Elway's a cover boy on the Mile High Sports Magazine as well. But now it's down to doing what Jack knows how to do very well, and so does Coach Critchett and Cherry Creek. It's just play football.
You know, that magazine put him on the cover, and then they had about a little paragraph on him. I was expecting a big article.
I was too. Disappointed.
It's kind
in
of
that.
false advertising, is it not?
Hey.
It's putting a lot of pressure on the kid as well. Not that he has not been able to handle it. You get a look there at Greg Critchett. Greg Critchett telling us that, boy, Jack Elway did a wonderful job of handling all the media pressure and the pressure that comes along with being the son of a former Super Bowl champion Bronco quarterback and, of course, a Hall of Famer. Jack Elway has handled it well. I know both you and I have had a chance to talk with him, Corey, and he does carry himself quite well. Doesn't seem to faze him too much, does it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, he's used to it. Man, well, they've been watching him play football. Everybody's been watching him play football since he was playing Pee-wee football, you know? I mean, they're going, hey, next Elway, you know? I mean, how's that for pressure? So, I mean, when I said there's no pressure, not necessarily true, but he's learned to deal with it because he's been dealing with it since he was born.
So Cherry Creek going to go for 2 after they moved it half the distance toward the goal line. trying to get that missed extra point back. Elway going to go to the air. Still looking. Fires, and this ball incomplete. 19-0. Cherry Creek on top of Montbello. Will step aside. 8:02 left in the first half.
The healthier you are, the more you enjoy life. That's the concept of Healthline, part of the Retirement Living Series. Join us for a health and medical program that equips you with the tools you need to take better control of your own health care.
I just kind of got tired of people saying, do you not feel good? Are you tired? Are you sick? Are you mad?
Learn more by watching Healthline every Monday through Friday at 1:30 right here on CET.
This is hardcore, baby. This is what it's all about.
So we're out here in the middle of nowhere. I ain't scared. Bring the mud holes. If you're into ATVing, then grab your helmet and come along for the adventures each week on Fisher's ATV World.
Irreverent, fun, informative, entertaining, and unpredictable. That's what people are saying about the Aaron Harbor Show. Sit in on a personal conversation with some of Colorado's most recognizable figures. It doesn't matter if you are on the left or the right. You can't go wrong with the Aaron Harbor Show. All this month on CET.
Let's look back up to the press box here at Legacy Stadium, and there's a good look at the Hall of Famer, John Elway, now the quarterback's coach at Cherry Creek, and his son Jack. Not a bad debut to his senior year. Again, Elway, 109 yards through the air, has led the Bruins on 3 scoring drives, and he has capped off all 3 scoring drives with touchdown passes.
And there's another solid scoring drive. 8 plays, 48 yards. Took him 3 minutes, 58 seconds to get it done. Pretty efficient.
Cherry Creek in our preseason CET Sports Top 10. We had them in at number 7. They looked pretty good. Again, we knew Greg Critch's team was going to have a nice offensive line. Good core of defenders coming back. And, you know, they returned 10 players off last year's team. But as Greg Critchett will tell you, just because they only have 10 players coming back, and, well, to be honest with you, 10's not a bad number to have coming back in high school football. That makes you fairly experienced. But he said, despite the fact we really only have 10 true starters coming back, we have so many more players that experienced a lot of playing time at the varsity level of a season ago. So they feel like they're a bit more experienced than that number 10 would indicate that they are.
Yeah, that's a huge difference, too. You got a lot of guys, as you mentioned, with the playing time, and they'll just get better as the season goes along. They get a couple of non-conference games here before they jump into the Centennial Conference.
James Johnson to fire. It's incomplete. Looking for his receiver on the near side, Jordan Williams.
Well, that was a little too hot for Williams to handle that time. Telling you, Johnson's got a gun on him. So I watched him warm up. He's got a kind of an elongated version. It's not one of those short, compact, fire the ball. He'll really get that arm out there and really whip it. But he's got a little speed on that ball, too. And got to get used to the receivers out here. These guys really haven't played together much.
2nd down and 10. Montbello trying to get something going. They only have 1 first down. They've already turned it over once. Looking to get it to Cad. Tried to get it to the outside. Couldn't. Savon Cad, his 3rd carry of the afternoon. Good for 8 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and a long 9, perhaps 10 yards for Montbello.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give him any progress at all. Good job by the Cherry Creek defense to really spread them out, running very quickly to the sideline there and just kind of stringing that play out.
19-0 Cherry Creek out in front of Montbello. First half of play, 7:20 to go in the second. 3rd down and 10. Boy, Montbello needs something positive to happen. And this is not going to be the play that it happens on. Cherry Creek coming through with a big sack. It was Turner Dietrich.
Matthew Adams also in there. Boy, I'll tell you what, I mean, he pick either one of them. I guess they'll get a half sack out of it for each of them. But, boy, that's tough pressure. There wasn't much that Johnson was going to be able to do with that one.
That's a loss of 7 yards on the play. You think back to that opening offensive possession for Montbello. They get the first down on 3 straight runs, feeling pretty good about themselves, already trailing 6-0. And then they fumble the snap deep in their own territory. And, boy, you think and say perhaps if you don't fumble there, perhaps get another first down, maybe 2, get a good punt away.
Oh, absolutely.
It might be a different story. It's kind of snowballed on them a little bit.
Yeah, it has, and start hanging the head a little bit. Notice they changed the formation up that time. They had gone to really just a 2-back set, but didn't change things up defensively for the Bruins.
Sullivan not going to lose his footing here this time, at least initially. Tripped up to the 35-yard line, and once again, Cherry Creek will have very good field position.
Yeah, great field position. Here they are in Montbello territory once again, and you just methodically start to go to work on the offense.
So that Bruin offense that has been out 3 times already, now coming back out on the field for the 4th time. They're 3 for 3, 3 touchdowns. Roman Holmes going to be the deep back this time. We haven't seen Holmes since that first quarter.
Yeah, that long sustained drive that they had there, and that may be what they're doing, kind of switching off in between quarters there. But that was a long series. That was that 10-play, 75-yard drive.
Time out of the field. We will step aside. 6:29 left, first half. All Bruins tonight.
Hey, coaches, are you planning to hold a camp, competition, or other sporting event? Well, sports injuries can happen anytime, any place, and you need to be prepared for that. The Camp Team, the official insurance provider for many national and world champions, offers a wide array of insurance for athletes, sporting events, and sports facilities. The Camp Team's goal is simple: to provide a comprehensive insurance plan at an affordable rate to allow our clients maximum coverage. For a free quote, call the Camp Team at 303-422-2057.
RC Sports, delivering top-of-the-line skating equipment since 1958, including a full line of tour and mission inline skates, indoor and outdoor hockey wheels and accessories, gloves, pads, and helmets from the top hockey manufacturers, including CCM, Bauer, Tour, and Mission. RC Sports, America's distributor. All products are available at your local Skate City.
Roller skating is always fun, but at Skate City, it's the best. Skate City has a new big screen for the skaters and televisions in the concession area for the parents. The new arcade games and rental skates that Skate City now has are state-of-the-art. It doesn't matter if it's public skating, birthday parties, school fundraising events, or roller hockey, Skate City always provides safe, healthy fun. So, everyone, roll down to your local Skate City.
5 minutes of taping, Shay.
Okay. Do I have time to tweeze?
Here, Shay, run this end of the mic down your shirt. And in 3, 2, 1, action.
Hi, I'm Shay Stewart, host of Colorado Homes On Demand. Join me here each weekend for an inside look at the Denver metro area's best new home communities. We'll talk to the builders, tour the models, and learn about some great ideas every homeowner can use. It's all right here on Colorado Homes On Demand.
The Denver Art Museum proudly presents Choosing an Architect. See all of the different styles that have influenced buildings and homes throughout history. It might even give you some ideas for your own home. Watch Choosing an Architect here on CET. Check www.comcast.com/CET for this month's program schedule. CET is playing your game. Football, volleyball, basketball, baseball, soccer, and more. No other channel in Colorado airs more high school sporting events than CET, with outstanding coverage from ISPN. Good luck to all the high schools this year, and thanks again for watching CET, playing your game.
19-0. Cherry Creek out in front of Montbello. Brian Roth along with Corey Lopez. On a Friday afternoon in August. Season opener for both of these two teams. Elway back under center. Sets his feet, wants it all once again. Throws it up there. It's caught. Inside the 10-yard line, it's Alex Johnson.
Great play that time, and that is the case of Johnson running off his defensive back thinking, whoop, he's on a fly pattern. He's going all the way to the end zone. Ball's already in the air, and all of a sudden the receiver stops. Well, there's not much that Shane McGee can do except try to stop and get back with the receiver. Elway's actually throwing that to the back shoulder or throwing it behind his receiver who runs deep. That look familiar? I think I've seen guys in blue and orange do that too.
First down and goal from the 8. Bruins looking for their 4th touchdown in the first half. Roman Holmes, not much. Denzel Williams was the first Warrior to get to him. Gain of a couple on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and goal. Slow to get up, the linebacker Josh Evans. He's a guy they can't afford to lose, the 6'1", 240-pound junior.
Well, here's the deal, too. Let's get this offensive line toughened up a little bit. And that's something that Coach Pritchett talked about. We need them to get in there and be physical. So here we go. I don't think we'll see a pass play here. Let's see if maybe we can run the ball in.
Bruins will go back to the air. Levy trying to make a cut. Good open field tackle by Cameron Turner.
Not much room there. Ended up losing a yard off. It surprises me if he wants his front line to get physical, and I know that they do a nice job throwing the ball, but you know what? Hey, let's see if we can ram one down the throat, get a little confidence here. Now you're to the point where, well, you got 3rd and goal, you're back on the 6. Try to set things up here now. Now you're probably forced to pass.
3rd down and 6. At the 6. And Montbello's going to call a timeout here.
Boy, you think these Montbello Warriors are a little worn out. Defense has been out there a long time.
Hey, Prep football fans, a reminder to watch High School Football Weekly right here on CET Sports. You can watch highlight, of course, of this game as well as several other games around the state. It's every Wednesday night, the most comprehensive high school football show in the state. Again, that's High School Football Weekly. Every Wednesday night at 7:30, only on CET Sports. We're at Legacy Stadium here on a Friday afternoon, along with Corey Lopez. I'm Brian Roth. 4:36 left. Here in the first half, all Bruins in this one. You mentioned a tired Montbello defense, no question about that, Corey. They have a number of guys going both ways. That Warrior sideline, certainly a tired lot.
Yeah, and these guys have really been forced into a tough situation. Short field the last 3 times that Cherry Creek has had the football, and here they are again. Now their backs against the goalpost.
19-0 Bruins lead. 3rd and goal from the 6. On the slant, not there. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Good job by Tyree Yates right there on the coverage that time. Elway threw it the only place that he really could, and that was down at the feet of his receiver. He was looking for a Papillion that time, and you throw it down there, DB's not going to get to it, but he was forced to throw it down there because Yates was right there.
So the Bruins going to be forced to attempt a field goal here. The 4:32 mark. Robert Willenbrock out to attempt this one.
You know, McCulley's been the holder here the whole time. He's the one who muffed the extra point of the first one, then made that great bobbling catch in the end zone and has been fine ever since.
23-yard field goal attempt is up, and it is good.
Look good there,
22-0. Yeah. And that opening snap wasn't up to par for the Bruins, but the rest have been 22-0 as we keep it here. First half of football. Cherry Creek all over the Montbello Warriors here from Legacy Stadium. There's a look at that Bruins sideline, and Austin Wilbers, one of the receivers for the Cherry Creek Bruins. It's a Bruin football team that does have a dearth of talent at that receiver spot. Certainly McCauley, Papillion, Alex Johnson. I know he was a player that coaching staff is very happy about and excited about. Then you have the Montbello drums out. They're always a good time. I've always enjoyed the Montbello drummers when you get them in the Thunderdome.
Oh, yeah.
They're at Manual High School. You get them in the closed confines of a gymnasium and let them really get after it.
Yeah, then it really is the Thunderdome. I mean, it is loud. And we always seem to set up over by them most of the time, too. So pretty deaf once it's over with, but it's good entertainment.
And we always try to get that East Montbello basketball game over at the Thunderdome. That's always a good time.
That field goal, that drive there, short field, didn't get it in the end zone, but 5 plays, 36 yards, burned off in 2 minutes, 1 second off the clock.
Big hole here. Cameron Turner, the far side, breaks the tackle of Willenbrock. And Turner has it inside the Cherry Creek 40-yard line. Well, Montbello needed something positive to happen. And Cameron Turner, a big kickoff return here late in the second.
Boy, there you go. Old Mo going to go back over to the Warrior side of things. Folks in the black and white jumping around. I mean, great return, firing right up the middle. And, hey, special teams don't have a lot of time to practice it before the season. So we always mention, it should probably be 1/3 of what you do, but Cherry Creek's installing a new offense. You've got a few new guys on defense, so you're trying to get that down, and then, special teams. One slip through.
Ryan Long, the deep back for Montbello. It's a bit of Warrior offense that has 1 first down. Penalty markers here, and down goes Johnson. Hepper, the linebacker, was the first Bruin to get to him.
Well, the Bruins were coming, just about ready to bring the house there. Somebody might have flinched. An illegal shift instead.
Well, either way, it's going to move Montbello back 5 yards and bring up 1st and 15. There's the signal for a legal shift.
Somebody may have lined up, too. You may have not had a receiver up on the line, or the gaps for the offensive line weren't quite right there that time. And there's another first game type of situation where that'll happen.
Ryan Long. All right, Long, such a physical runner. There's just not a lot there. All be called down on contact. All right, Long had about 3, maybe even 4 blue jerseys hanging on him there. Trying to bust it free, couldn't. Gain of 2.
Each time they've tried to get Johnson back, try to have him pass, I think he's completed 1 pass all day, and that was just a quick screen out here to the near side. And so it happened here in the second quarter. Outside of that, he hadn't had any time at all.
Third down and 12. Montbello trying to take advantage of the good kickoff return movement by the left tackle. That's going to move them back even further. It'll bring up a 3rd and 17, and you just cannot make mistakes like this when you're struggling on offense already and you're down 22-0 to the 7th-ranked team in the state.
Well, and that momentum that you had with that big kickoff return, now it's starting to wane a little bit. All of a sudden, now you're making mistakes, a couple of penalties, and you're backing yourselves up.
See if the Bruins just gave them the 5 yards back.
Now we're starting to see a lot of the yellow hankies here.
That again will go against the Warriors. So the football will be spotted just inside the 50 at the 49. 3rd down, 22. try to set up the screen, and no one home.
Yeah, I don't even know who he was throwing to. Long was back there in coverage trying to help with the blocking that time. He may have been looking for possibly Joshua Evans, but Evans was locked up with a guy too.
So that Warrior offense, after the excellent kickoff return by Cameron Turner, can't take advantage. They're back to kick it away once again. And again, this is Shantz for the first time to receive a punt inside his own 10. Shantz trying to get to the corner and will be tackled out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jordan Williams making the stop for the Warriors.
Shantz wanted to try to, he probably could have let that go and bound into the end zone, but caught it over the shoulder. It started one way, came back the other way. But good job on special teams for Montbello getting down there to cover that on what was kind of a line drive punt.
So with 2:36 now to go in the opening half of play, Bruins are going to be back out on offense, leading 22-0. They have scored on all 4 drives they have had here this afternoon. 3 touchdowns, and then the field goal in the last drive.
Worst starting field position of the day for Cherry Creek.
Play fake, Elway. Gonna fire incomplete. Intended receiver was McCauley.
Safety, the better part of valor there, I think. He really was kind of getting rid of that one. His receiver was covered up pretty good, so he made sure that was going to the bench.
Elway now 11 of 16, 138 yards, and the 3 touchdowns.
Not a bad line for a first half, and you still got 2:29 left to go here.
Second down and 10. Elway. Is that incomplete or is it a fumble? Well, it's a completed pass, apparently. Well, apparently the ground caused the fumble, huh?
I guess that must be what it is. Eric Coleman, great coverage that time. Just smoked the receiver as soon as he caught it.
Didn't see any indication on whether or not that was an incomplete pass. I didn't see anybody signal for an incomplete pass. And
I saw the 2 referees looking at each other, and nobody was making a call, so I guess they were just going to let it stand that they both had called that the ground had caused the fumble.
39. Elway. Step up. Fire. Incomplete. Overthrew the intended receiver is McCauley again. On the coverage, Keithon Blackman for the Montbello Warriors. And for the first time here this afternoon, that Bruin punting unit will head out onto the field.
That's a tough pass. You had to try to slide that in there. Coleman was coming over from his safety spot that time, was coming over to help out to Eric Coleman, who was up front. Oh, so Blackman was coming over to help Coleman, actually, from his safety spot. And, boy, you had to be nearly perfect on that pass.
Lucas Thompson gets the kick away. And it'll be downed inside the 50-yard line by Sean Robbins.
Well, field position changing here a little bit for Montbello. I mean, here they are. They've got good field position once again.
Final minute and a half here of the first half. 1:31 to go in a 22-0 football game. Cherry Creek on top of the Montbello Warriors out at Legacy Stadium. Late arriving crowd for this one, as you would expect for a 4 p.m. kickoff.
You don't think Sean Feldman's going to go in and say, moral victories, men, we're winning the field position portion of that. But he will mention it and say, we're improving now. We got to get out there, get some turnovers, and we definitely have to get the offense working.
Boy, Montbello really struggling in offense. Third time we have seen a tough exchange between the center Marvin Moore and the quarterback James Johnson. One of them cost him a turnover. The other 2 Johnson was able to fall upon, but even the ones you fall upon, you're losing a yard or 2 and you're losing it down.
Yeah.
And when you're not moving the football effectively, you can't give anything away. Cherry Creek Band getting set to play here at halftime. We invite you to stick with us. Our halftime show coming up next. Take a look at those first half highlights.
Plenty of them to show.
Gadd trying to get a little room, lost the football. Cherry Creek has it right into the hands of Brian Price.
Great job by Nathan Murphy. He got up there and stripped the ball, running stride for stride with the running back and stripped it out of there.
Well, now Cherry Creek with 45 seconds to go.
Well,
has a chance here.
How do you like this? Set up. All right, hey, let's run our 2-minute offense or 45-second offense, I guess.
If you're Montbello, that's the last thing you needed to do there was turn the football over. I know Savon Cad was looking for the extra yardage, but boy, you can't turn it over in that situation. Already down 22-0. They'll slip Holmes out of the backfield, and a big hit applied by Cameron Turner, and then he waited for reinforcements. Ryan Long was one of those Warriors coming in as well. Stops the clock with 34 seconds to go in the timeout called by the Bruins. And again, we're going to keep that here. The Montbello Warrior football team that, you figured they were going to get the football back to open up the second half. Well, you just run the clock out there, then you get the football back, maybe do something positive with it. Put some points on the board to open up the third quarter. It's 22-7. You find yourself right back in this football game.
Yeah.
Now, you need to be careful here.
Well, and you got to send your defense back out there again. Just did a nice job. Forced a 3-and-out. Made Cherry Creek punt for the first time in the first half. You still got the field position advantage anyway. And then, boom, ball's in the ground. Second fumble of the day. You're asking your defense, okay, got a short field starting at the 47. You got to get out and you got to stop them.
Second down and 5 after the completion to Holmes. Elway flushed out of the pocket. He'll fumble the football. Cherry Creek has it.
Great job by Joshua Evans, who got in there. Turner was there as well. The pressure that came from the outside, and Elway just kind of flushed out of the pocket. He was so locked on, looking for receivers, checking off that time. Somebody got up there, and Evans got up there and swiped that ball.
Now Bruins are going to let the clock run down here on the second quarter of play. 22-0. Cherry Creek on top of Montbello through 24 minutes here from Legacy Stadium. Halftime show comes up next on CET Sports.
For the best roller hockey experience in Colorado, play at Skate City. For just $55, children in 5 to 7 and 8 to 10 divisions can play beginner and intermediate leagues, and this includes all equipment. Skate City also has 10 to 12 years, 13 to 15, and adult leagues. Skate City's advanced leagues are coached and conducted by Team USA captain CJ Yoder. Skate City's club teams play at the fabulous Tour Arena, the home to Skate City's inline hockey players. Come join the inline hockey fun at Skate City.
This September on CET, journey behind the blast doors at NORAD under Cheyenne Mountain and discover why our national security starts here. And take a few lessons from the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. Plan the perfect family vacation on distant roads. Then see who's ready to make the run at a state title on the High School Football Weekly Show. It's all this September, only here on CET. The Denver Broncos, the United Way, and Comcast ask you to make a difference in a young person's life today. Broncos wide receiver Rod Smith gave his time to meet with students from Denver Public Schools to have some fun and talk about the importance of staying in school.
What you got to remember, in this lifetime, there's always changes.
You can make a difference too. Volunteer as a mentor today. Go to UnitedWayDenver.org to find out more. A message from the United Way, the Denver Broncos, and Comcast. The CET Picture Show takes you back in time with great friends, funny faces, and amazing kids. See timeless classics with some of Hollywood's biggest stars. It just doesn't get any better than this.
To get underway here, Legacy Stadium, 22-0. Cherry Creek on top of the Montbello Warriors, and there's Jack Elway on the sideline throwing the football. Alex Johnson standing next to him, and that's a Cherry Creek offense that looked good for the most part in the first half. Corey stumbled a bit late in that second quarter.
I don't know if Johnson made a catch in that first half.
Here's Tyree Yates around the right side. Yates with some room. Yates still on his feet, and T.J. Shantz will drag him out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Almost a carbon copy of Cameron Turner's kickoff return in the second.
Okay, so they found something on those returns that they can do. Now they've got a short field. This was something that we kind of looked at right around the 4:28 mark of the second quarter. They're shortening the field up. They're winning that battle for the field position. Now you got to find a way to stick the ball in the end zone.
So the Montbello Warriors are going to change quarterbacks. Justin Johnson, the 5'7" senior, will be in there replacing James Johnson. No relation. We'll pitch it back. Here's Cameron Turner. Penalty marker on the play as Turner fails to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you who Justin Johnson is related to, though. That's C.J. Johnson, the former CU quarterback and assistant athletic director now.
Is he really?
He is.
Charles Johnson, really?
Yeah, I can't remember. Coach Feldman was telling me, boy, cousin or nephew. I can't remember now. That's what I get for not writing it down. But
Charles Johnson was a pretty fair quarterback in his own right. Backed up Darian Hagan up at Colorado and then played in the Orange Bowl after Darian Hagan got hurt and led the Buffaloes to that 1990 national title.
Yeah, CJ wasn't bad, was he?
Played a little football.
Ah.
Out of Detroit, I believe. He was a Michigan guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, out of Detroit.
Face mask called against the Bruins. So back-to-back positives for the Montbello Warriors to open up the third quarter. Blackman is the man in motion. They're going to give it to the big boy, Ryan Long, powering ahead. Look at that pile move. Boy, we haven't seen a push like that by that Montbello offensive front the entire game.
No, we haven't. That's the first time that's happened. And I don't know, sometimes changing up a leader, maybe you get a little bit of that. You know, great job of Johnson to run out that fake, that's for sure. But, man, the offense firing off. Maybe the fire and brimstone speech at halftime worked.
Gain of 7 from Long, 2nd and 3, 1 minute into the third. Fumble snap again. I think it's Long, the Warrior, that picked it up. But, again, it's another situation, Corey, where you're able to recover your own fumble, but you lose a yard or two and you lose another down.
Yeah, and you lose a little momentum off of it as well. We see that Montbello has gone back to that power I formation. They kind of messed around a little bit with two-back sets, splitting two receivers to either side, kind of a basic formation. Now they've gone back to that power set, deciding, hey, short field, let's do what we do best, and that is run the football.
So to bring up third down and a long 3 for Montbello. Justin Johnson under center again, did not play in that first half. Power I behind him. Give to the second man through, nothing there. How about the swarm of blue jerseys swinging through there? The Bruin defense holds tough. Matthew Adams, one of those many blue jerseys getting through.
Yeah, Joel Ragsdale in there, Turner Dietrich also firing through there. We haven't called Ragsdale's name very often because they really have not. We saw Montbello running a lot of side-to-side running plays. This time they're starting to go more toward the middle, so Ragsdale's going to be a little more involved.
Montbello on 4th down and 7 now. They're going to elect to go for it. They have an equipment problem with one of the Cherry Creek Bruin players. That's Joel Ragsdale.
Well, and here's the deal for Montbello. You're already down here 22-0. You've got to get something positive happening. Had a good return. Got a little help from a face mask penalty, but now you got to find a way to stick it in the end zone. At the very least, keep this drive going here.
4th down and 7, and Montbello will go for it. Johnson wants to run the option, found a seam, cuts up field. He's not going to get it, I do not believe. Boy, he needed just that extra surge, and I don't think he got it.
Dietrich was there again. You saw Terrence Walker in on the play that time, and Nathan Murphy also getting in there and making a nice stop that time. He ran straight down the line. It opened up for him, and then he made that cut up field. Didn't lower the head, though. He was still trying to pick his way through that time, and that's what stopped him right about the 15-yard line.
So some signs of life, though, from that Montbello offense, and certainly buoyed by that special teams play by Tyree Yates. But that Bruin defense is able to hold. So Cherry Creek offensively back out on the field. They scored on their first 4 offensive possessions in the first half. Devon Levy, huge hole on the left side. Levy gets flipped up off his feet out to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good open field tackle. That would have been a lot more if Keithon Blackman wasn't there that time to upend Levy. And Levy, speaking of picking your way through a backfield, he was into the backfield so quickly, he was just trying to get around linebackers by then.
Gain of 13 for Devon Levy. His older brother, Derek Levy, former Cherry Creek wide receiver and former Cherry Creek basketball player, played for Mike Brookhart as well. He's up at the University of Wyoming, playing football for Joe Glenn. Levy again, that time, good pressure up the middle by the Montbello Warriors. Shooting through there, Eric Wright, among others. Gain of a yard.
Well, you got a 22-0 lead. You're coming out here. Let's see if they can run the ball, run some clock down. That's the thought that Coach Critchett has going through his head. But you're going to get yourself here some good yardage on that first play. Levy short a little bit this time. May see him go to the air, but I think you're going to see it a little bit more conservative, try to burn a little clock off, get through this one here.
Again, Jack Elway in that first half, 12 of 17, $144, 3 touchdowns. Greg Critchett looks on from that Bruins sideline. Elway going to go to the air for the first time in the second half. Pump Bacon, down he goes. Brandon Gossett, the Warrior, to get to him.
Boy, Elway didn't see that one coming. Right from the blind side, and boy, he got wrapped up real hard. You know what? Wanted to make a throw, and that takes a lot of strength to those fingers, hold on to that football, because he thought he had a receiver, saw it was closing up as he was starting his motion, so was able to hold on to it. Lucky he didn't lose that football and put it on the ground when he was hit there.
Third down and 18. See if Cherry Creek goes to the draw here with Levy. Nope, they'll go to the air. Elway again under pressure. Has some room, will fire downfield as a man wide open. Alex Johnson into Montbello territory, down to the 35-yard line.
Found a way to get the ball in Johnson's hand. I wasn't sure if he had caught a pass yet there in that first half, but boy, he just kept running his route, and you know what? Montbello just kind of forgot about him. Once Elway broke containment, everybody started to creep up a little bit, but Johnson did a great job of continuing his route.
Called a gain of 43 yards to Johnson. It came on 3rd and 18. That's a backbreaker for that Warrior defense. But they got good pressure up the middle, too.
Turn that field position thing around now.
Elway able to make a play out of the pocket. Levy on the first down carry, another gaping hole in that Warrior defense. Penalty marker down. And it's a hold against Cherry Creek. So apparently there was a reason that hole was so gaping.
Yeah, that may have been it.
Comes at the 6:51 mark of quarter number 3. Apologize, having some technical difficulties with our game clock. We usually have that up for you here on CET. Hold. Cherry Creek.
Well, defense gets a little extra. They get about 9 yards of help there with that hold because it's a spot foul. Now you got to find a way to stop them here. Get that ball back.
First down and 18 from the 44. Warriors showing blitz. They don't come. Elway gonna fire. Has his man again. It's Alex Johnson. That's a strike from Jack Elway. There's some of the arm strength that people talk about. It's a gain of 19.
Well, delivered right on time, too, because Savon Cadd had pretty good coverage on Johnson, but you know what? That ball was on the way before Johnson was turning around to get it. So as soon as he made his turn, boom, ball's there, makes the catch. The only thing that Gadd can do is make the tackle.
And that'll put Johnson over the 100-yard mark. 4 catches, 103 yards. Bruins are going to go back to the running game. Nothing there that time. Eric Coleman was the man able to wrap up leaving the backfield.
The linebackers making themselves known on that 3-4 defense. Every once in a while, they're squirting a linebacker up there. Definitely on passing situations. The last time they really went deep, they only sent 3 guys, but they're usually sending a 4th guy. It's one of those backers coming in from one of the spots.
And there's an injured Warrior on the field, and we'll take a timeout. 5:44 to go. We're in the third. Bruins lead the Warriors by the score of 22-0.
Hey coaches, are you planning to hold a camp, competition, or other sporting event? Well, sports injuries can happen anytime, any place, and you need to be prepared for that. The Camp Team, the official insurance provider for many national and world champions, offers a wide array of insurance for athletes, sporting events, and sports facilities. The Camp Team's goal is simple: to provide a comprehensive insurance plan at an affordable rate to allow our clients maximum coverage. For a free quote, call the Camp Team at 303-422-2057.
Roller skating is always fun, but at Skate City, it's the best. Skate City has a new big screen for the skaters and televisions in the concession area for the parents. The new arcade games and rental skates that Skate City now has are state-of-the-art. It doesn't matter if it's public skating, birthday parties, school fundraising events, or roller hockey, Skate City always provides safe, healthy fun. So, everyone, roll down to your local Skate City.
RC Sports, delivering top-of-the-line skating equipment since 1958, including a full line of tour and mission inline skates, indoor and outdoor hockey wheels and accessories, gloves, pads, and helmets from the top hockey manufacturers, including CCM, Bauer, Tour, and Mission. RC Sports, America's distributor. All products are available at your local Skate City.
This September on CET, journey behind the blast doors at NORAD under Cheyenne Mountain and discover why our national security starts here. And take a few lessons from the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. Plan the perfect family vacation on distant roads. Then see who's ready to make the run at a state title on the High School Football Weekly Show. It's all this September, only here on CET. Unbeatable views, awesome recreation, and the perfect destination. Summit County is one of the greatest places on earth. Find out more reasons why on Summit Magazine. From the hiking, to biking, to skiing, and more. You're going to love it up here. Watch Summit Magazine on CET. Check www.comcast.com/CET for this month's schedule and more. The Rocky Mountains await with excitement, danger, and fun. You live in Colorado, it's time to get out there.
We'll show you everything you need to know.
Learn a new extreme sport with the Rocky Mountain Adventure and unleash your inner, whatever. Find out what you've been missing on Rocky Mountain Adventure, only right here on CET.
22-0 Cherry Creek on top of the Montbello Warriors. We're in the third quarter. 5:34 left. Brandon Gossett, by the way, was the injured Warrior on the play. Able to get off to the far side under his own power. Second down and 10. Elway to the left flat. Here's Levy trying to make a couple of cuts. And finally will be brought down. Eric Coleman again, the Warrior in on the stop.
Boy, Coleman get up there and really put a nice hit on him, tucked the head to the ball side. That's a fundamental tackle there. Wrapped up, drove him backwards, and knocked him down. But again, short gain. That was the only thing. The DBs are starting to lock in on these receivers a little bit better, and so that was the only place that Elway could go, was to find Levy.
Now we have an officials timeout. They're ready to go. Winds the clock. Clock runs 4:45. There you see third down situation. There's Gossett on that far side as well. He was the Warrior that was shaken up just moments ago. 3rd and 7. See if Cherry Creek can convert on another third down. Elway again in a bit of trouble. Fires complete. And that will be close.
Johnson ran past the sticks, then started drifting back that time. Yeah, I think they're going to have to pull that all the way across to take a look. Nope, not going to measure it. Say that's a first down.
Just did get the first down. It'll bring up a fresh set of downs for Jack Elway and the Bruins. This is their opening offensive possession of the second half. Well, they opened up the contest with a nice elongated drive that finished Jack Elway touchdown pass. Now their opening drive of the second half, another elongated possession. Fade pattern, far side, football caught, touchdown. Alex Johnson.
Caught it against Cad that time. Johnson a little bigger height advantage, and Cad never turned around to see that ball. Tried to at the last second, watching the receiver's eyes, stick that hand up there and try to punch it out, but a good job by Johnson to hold on to it.
Johnson becomes the 4th wide receiver this afternoon to haul in a touchdown catch. (28-0) Bruins lead. Willenbrock back to attempt the extra point. It is up and it is good. 4:22 left, third quarter. All Bruins on a sunny Friday afternoon. 28-0. You're on CET Sports.
Rev up for this summer's hottest show, Thunder in the Rockies. Bikes, rides, tips, events, from motorcycle mamas to motorcycle rallies, we've got it covered. We've got the best of all things Thunder Mountain. We've got the baddest Harleys, the sweetest custom cycles, and we even have Kathy Lee. So if you're new to motorcycles or have been around them your entire life, you've got to watch Thunder in the Rockies. It's the hottest show of the year.
If you live to ride, want to learn how to ride, or just love motorcycles, tune in to Thunder in the Rockies.
Hawaii is more than just sand and surf. It's a way of life. Take a closer look at the beautiful island of Hawaii, shrouded in tradition, culture, and extreme sports. Soak in the ocean and enjoy the sights and sounds of the Big Island on Action Sports Hawaii. It's all this month on CET. Their strength comes from wisdom. Wisdom wrought through years of teaching, learning, and encouraging.
What I wanted to do was teach physical education and coach baseball.
Meet the legends, the coaching legends.
They did show a lot of resolve. They didn't quit and give up, and really became a great team.
Watch Coaching Legends right here on CET. Check www.comcast.com/CET for this month's program schedule.
4:22 left, third quarter of play, 29-0. Cherry Creek on top of Montbello here on a Friday afternoon. Willenbrock will squib this one down the field. The Bruins have gotten burned on a couple of long kickoff returns so far. Cad this time, a lot of running. Only got out across the 22-yard line.
Well, there was a wall that was being set up on that far side. They had a shot, but good job by the special teams of Cherry Creek to recover just in time and stop Cad for, stop at the 23. That's good. You're winning the field position again. And boy, how about that drive? You mentioned they opened up first half, 10-play drive. This time, 9-play drive, 85 yards, burned off 5 minutes, 3 seconds. But you can't ask for much more to open up a second half that way.
We're 14 left in the third. See if this Montbello offense can get something going. Johnson will roll out. Thought about running, now he will. Ahead for a couple yards. Brought down on the play by Sean Robbins.
Good coverage by the Bruin backfield that time, and the receivers had kind of run out of the area. They just kind of kept their patterns going and kept going deep. Nobody really came back to help out Johnson that time. They just kept kind of running their patterns. They got farther down the field, and Johnson had to tuck it up and keep it.
Second down and 8 now for Montbello. Try to run the option again. A little bit of room for Johnson. Tackled forward across the 30. And some pushing after the play. And a penalty marker has been thrown.
Well, I think that may be the way to go, though. Start getting that option going. They started trying to get it to Ryan Long a couple of times, faking the option. The option almost worked on that fourth down play. Got 5 out of the 7 that they needed. I think that may be the way to go for them. Start running that option and make Cherry Creek force them to have to pick somebody and make that defense work a little bit harder.
Personal foul went against Cherry Creek. So Montbello will get a first down out of it. Corey, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that just the second first down of the game?
For Montbello, yeah. Yeah, I think so. That's what I've got. No, on that last drive, they did get a first down on a penalty.
Okay, third first down of the game for Montbello. They just had one in that first half. Quarterback keeps it here close to midfield. Had that opening first down on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah.
Then the very next play, Montbello would fumble it. They were down 6-0 at that time, and they would soon be down 13-0.
You know, it's one step forward, 2 steps back for them. It's the way it's been. You know, they have that nice return toward the end of the first half. Then what happens? Well, they turn the ball over. You know, so you see some positives, but boy, shooting yourself in the foot each time. Now they're getting help from Cherry Creek. They've had a couple of big, a face mask penalty, personal foul penalty here. Now you're starting to get into their territory again. They can drive and get some yardage. Now you got to sustain that drive.
Running to the right side, not much there. That's Cameron Turner. Boy, Turner's not a very big kid, is he? Just 5'6", 165 pounds.
Yeah, straight.
Got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, Brian Price really laid the wood to him there, and that's just a student body right. That's an old Green Bay Packers play. You're sweeping right, you're pulling the guard, you're getting everybody out front as you can to try to start knocking some people down. And he got to the edge pretty quickly. Problem is, Bruins defense was there, strung it out enough, and then Price was able to really knock him down.
That'll bring up third down and 9, and Montbello is going to use a timeout with 1:58 to go here in the third quarter of play. Let's keep it here, and Corey, let's take a look at that CET Sports Top 10. And there you see the Cherry Creek Bruins in at number 7. Bruins going just 6-5 of a season ago, but you look at the Centennial League, Mullen at number 2 despite those losses. And there's Grandview. Boy, they have a big offensive front.
Yeah, they really do. And, you know, some of our top 10 teams already playing on August 30th anyway. And Arapahoe getting their win over Chaparral 28-19. So they're off to a 1-0 start there. Number 1 Columbine, big surprise, won. You know, last year they were upset by Lakewood, but this time the Tigers not quite up to the task. So Columbine a 31-7 win there. And number 10 Legacy in action on a Thursday night as they beat Niwot 16-10.
There's a look at Greg Critchett, 5th-year coach for Cherry Creek, as his Bruins off and running here this year. And we saw Douglas County last night on CET Sports. Boy, do they look good. Jose Astorga, their running back, looked excellent. He was a sophomore last year, backing up Ryan Mizdare, rushed for nearly 600 yards as a sophomore. He's now their featured back this year, and he is a tough back, extremely quick. Third down, 9. Johnson going to keep it. And down he goes, and he got hammered down. His helmet comes flying off. I hope he's okay,
well,
and he is.
Coach Critchett hands him the helmet. Son, here's your head. Sorry my boys are mean like that, but wow. I think that might have been Peter Williams who came over, kind of finish him off that time. That's exactly what Coach Critchett was talking about when they were running, yes, from the shotgun, but they're running that option. Your quarterback's going to get tagged. If you're running any kind of option offense, your quarterback's going to get hit a lot. Tough price to pay for 4 yards.
Montbello forced to kick it away again. Sullivan back. He's going to let that one go. Montbello bounce inside the Bruin 10.
Boy, great punt that time. Punter angled it away from where the return man was. He was lined up down the near side hash marks. Went ahead and punted it away from him. It worked out well. Get a little bit of that field position back, but time's running out on you.
1:02 to go. We're in the third quarter of play from Legacy Stadium, 29-0. That Bruin offense coming back out. And Jack Elway back out to quarterback the Bruins. Elway has been magnificent here this afternoon. In case you're just joining us, Elway 16 of 21, 229 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Nice debut for you to return to football here for the 07 season.
Not much room there this time for the Bruin back. That was Michael Wilson. And Wilson's the third of that trio of backs that Cherry Creek really feels good about.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to have 3 guys like that. Levy's going to get a bulk of the carries, of course. You know that Roman Holmes is also going to get a lot of carries, but really Coach Critchett says he's pretty comfortable. He's got 3 guys that he can go to at just about any time, all of them bringing different things to the table.
Wilson on the left side just did get tripped up.
Well, there's a big gain. I mean, you change your pace, get another running back in there, boom, and it just running straight ahead that time. That was great blocking by the offensive line, who we kind of keyed on here in our pregame. It was going to be up to these guys to see just how well Jack Elway was going to do, just how well Cherry Creek was going to do, and so far they performed very well, giving up a couple of sacks, but when it comes to the running game, they've done a nice job.
Gain of 15 for Wilson. He'll get it once again, tripped up to the 29 this time.
Yeah, Michael Wilson, junior, did a great job last year as a sophomore. We called his name a few times in the ball games. You know, he's a guy who's got a little bit of experience, but now he's trying to find a way to get the ball to all of these guys, Holmes and Wilson, as well as the other running backs.
So the Bruins own the third quarter's only score. It was another Jack Elway touchdown pass, and Cherry Creek takes a 29-0 lead over Montbello to the fourth. We'll get to the final stanza after this timeout on CET Sports.
For a great birthday party on wheels, come to Skate City. For just $99, 12 guests and the birthday child can have 2 hours of birthday fun. This price includes cake, ice cream, soft drinks, party favors, and the table setting supplies. 3 14-inch fresh-baked pizzas can be added for just $30, or everyone can have a hot dog and chips for just $15. For the best birthday party value in Colorado, call Skate City today.
By working together and sharing a common vision, the Soldiers Angels Foundation has been able to send thousands of care packages to deployed and wounded soldiers, as well as to their families here at home. Soldiers Angels are volunteers dedicated to ensuring that every American service member knows they are loved and supported. Visit soldiersangels.org for information on how you can help bring home healthy soldiers. Soldiers Angels. May no soldier go unloved.
Lights, camera, action. From stage to the theater. And from Hollywood to Broadway. Now Playing gives you a fresh look at entertainment. See new projects and never-before-seen footage. It's a sophisticated show for those with a higher concert and film palette. All this month, right here on CET. Pass by most high schools in Colorado and you'll see them practicing. Walk by the lights on a Friday night and you'll hear the crowd. But the only way to really feel the excitement is to watch them play. The season is underway, and with so many great teams, you're going to need some help determining the chumps from the champs. Tune in for the High School Football Weekly Show, right here on CET for the latest scores and highlights from around the state.
12 minutes left in the contest in a 29-0 contest. Cherry Creek on top of Montbello. Second down and 6 as the Bruins open up the fourth quarter. Jack Elway under center, and now it's the Bruins' turn to fumble a snap.
Yep, Jack was coming up out of there a little too quickly that time.
I've seen Montbello do that 3 or 4 times, and now it's Cherry Creek's turn. That'll cost him a yard and a down. 3rd down and 8.
The front line pretty good up there for Cherry Creek. I know, just after a bad exchange, David Gaston is the center up there, but you get guys like Pete Williams, John Schweinhart, Taylor Paxton. Good, solid set of guys who have experience up there, the 4 of them, and then you add in one more player who has kind of gelled in pretty nicely here in game 1.
Cherry Creek going to call a timeout, and we will keep that here. Hey, football fans, don't forget that you can purchase a copy of this afternoon's contest or any other game we have televised here in the 2007 season by going to our website. You see it right there at the bottom of the screen. It's www.ispn.tv. Again, ispn.tv. Order a copy of this game or any other contest we filmed here in 2007. Jack Elway and the Cherry Creek Bruins, they have been very, very good in their season opener. Again, they're going to head up north to take on Fort Collins. Get a look at Pete Rebstock, the former Cherry Creek wide receiver. He was coaching at Bear Creek last year. He was just walking off the field there. Former CSU wide receiver, coaching under Tom Tennell last year. Moving over to his alma mater this year to coach that Bruin offense.
Pretty good offense that we've seen so far here.
Pass tipped incomplete on 3rd down. That Montbello defense comes up with another defensive stand, and they'll force Cherry Creek to kick it away.
Well, that's the case. We've seen that happen a couple of times. Elway has to get rid of it a little sooner than he wants because that 3-4 front, and really those 3 guys have put decent pressure in there when Elway's hung in the pocket. He's kind of had to scramble a little bit to buy himself some time.
Lucas Thompson back to kick it away. Cameron Turner awaiting the kick on his own 42-yard line for Montbello.
Well, it doesn't get any easier for Montbello. You and I had mentioned this in the first half, but they've got Mullen next week, Ralston Valley the following week, then they have a home game against Rocky Mountain. Then they get to play a couple of conference games, but it's against TJ, who we've seen, the pretty good ball club. TJ, Montbello, that's going to be a good matchup from what I have seen, and I don't want to take the opinion from you, but I think TJ is a better ball club right now at this point, at least first week in.
TJ with Devin Fitzgerald. How good was he in that season opener against Green Mountain?
Yeah,
Fitzgerald's tending at 5'5".
Of course, we have to keep in mind, too, though, that they were playing a Green Mountain club that, wow, struggling, to say the very least. It's going to be tough for them to find wins this year in a tough conference.
This is a nice kick. Cad's going to let it go at Cherry Creek. Back Montbello up to their own 24-yard line. Well done by the kicker, Lucas Thompson.
Yeah, how you like that? You know, Montbello did that to him, pinned him down on the 8-yard line. This time, well, Thompson doing a nice job of punting it away from the return man.
So 11:08 to go in the game and a 29-0 shutout to this point. Cherry Creek on top. Again, we mentioned these two teams opened up the 06 campaign against one another. It was a 56-20 win for Cherry Creek. Jack Elway making his varsity debut last year against Montbello Warriors. Elway played pretty well, 8 of 17 for 114 yards, had a rushing touchdown that game. Carl Heimbrock, the departed senior of last year, was also one of those stars of that game for Cherry Creek. Cameron Turner gets it up to the 30-yard line before he was hit down hard by Matt Heppard.
Got another debut of an Elway this afternoon, though, of course. Number 7 in the coaching booth now. John Elway coming over. Boy, you haven't heard about that. I don't know where you've been. Everybody's been talking about it, but this is the debut of quarterbacks coach for Cherry Creek, John Elway. So far, I think the experiment has worked.
Ryan Long gets the carry. Right, Long's been bottled up. He's a guy that has a lot of varsity experience, and he's a big back. Ryan Long, 6 feet, 235 pounds. But doesn't matter how big you are, if there's no room there, there's no room there.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a little surprised that they haven't tried to get the ball to him a little bit more. I know they're in a situation they're playing from behind and things like that, but we've seen the option. Actually, we've seen the option play where Johnson, and it's Justin Johnson now, where he's actually kept the ball. We haven't seen anybody flipping the ball around, but they haven't gone back to Long in a while. That's the first time in several carries, or several plays, I should say.
Matt Heppard again on the tackle for Cherry Creek.
Well, and that's a perfect time for Johnson to pitch the football that time because, he had Cameron Turner. Good spacing that time. That's an easy pitch. That's a quarterback taking 2 steps down the line, seeing that the defensive end has got him, make that pitch, and continue that option on. Otherwise, if you're going to keep the ball the whole time, defense isn't going to respect you. And they're just going to start collapsing on you. Then it's going to be harder for you. They'll stop covering the pitch man because they know you're not going to pitch it out there.
Anthony Rattler back to kick it away. Snap is good. And this punt will make it up to midfield. Montbello bounce. Cherry Creek will have awfully good field position once again. Bruins leading 29-0. It was 22-0 as we headed into halftime. Bruins with the only score of the third quarter. We find ourselves here in the fourth. We'll have Cherry Creek back on the airwaves a little bit later on this year when the Bruins host Eagle Crest Friday, October the 19th. That game, we believe, will be at the Stutler Bowl. See if they have the track in by then.
Amazes me. You got all summer to get that done, and all of a sudden, home game for your football team, and they can't play in their home stadium.
That was Wilson on the carry. So we've seen all 3 running backs for Cherry Creek tonight. Roman Holmes got the start. He scored on a touchdown catch from Elway. Of course, we've seen Devon Levy, the speedster. He's the guy that played more at wide receiver of a season ago. Played a little bit of running back last year for Cherry Creek, and now we're seeing Michael Wilson. He's the deep back again in the eye. Wilson will get the carry. Ball's ahead just shy of midfield.
Elway stumbled a little bit coming out of his crouch to get back there, so timing was off just a little bit. Well, you figure they're, obviously pretty satisfied, 29-0. Offense has done a nice job here. They're running the clock down. Defense has done an outstanding job. Haven't allowed a touchdown or a field goal at all. I think the offense, it's third down situation, probably going to pass here.
3rd and 4. Elway has Johnson wide open, enough for the first down. Right, Johnson's had a big afternoon. It's another gain of 7. Johnson now 6 catches, 123 yards.
How do you like the way that Elway has spread the ball around, though? We knew Johnson was going to be one of the guys that was going to really be a part of this offense, but he has really spread it around. McCauley has been in it. Papillion's been in it. And on it, he's gotten it to his running backs. Levy's caught one. Holmes has caught one.
Papillion, another one of those wide receivers that has caught one. First down and 10. They're going to go back to the ground game. Here's Wilson trying to bust to the outside. He does. Wilson in the clear to the 20. Wilson legs move inside the 10. Lowered his shoulder on Blackman.
Wow, Blackman tried to knock him off his pins, and you know what? That was him just running through the tackle. That's the power. That's the change of pace you've got with Wilson. We saw a little bit of that with him as a sophomore last year. He's got that strength to make a run like that.
First down and goal, Cherry Creek. Elway going to hand off to Wilson this time. Nothing there. Meeting him was Josh Evans. You see number 40 back in there as well for Montbello. That's a good sign. It's Brandon Gossett.
Yeah.
He got hurt earlier in the second half.
Not
But he is back out there. It's good news.
Not a lot of depth there for Montbello. You know, first game of the season. Good to see the guy that went down back out there right away because there's not a lot of people to follow, especially on the defensive side of the ball here. I mean, the guys they've got out there now, they need them to go the entire season. They're the ones that have the experience.
Wilson moves the feet inside the 2. And Wilson's had a nice drive. He's been the workhorse here in the second half for Greg Critchett and those Bruins. And you know they'd like to get Wilson the touchdown here. He's done most of the work.
Yeah. Well, and I said this in the first half. I thought maybe once they got down inside the 10, they'd just try to run the ball and get your line a little confidence. You know, get your running back, your fullback a little confidence here. And they didn't do it. I think you'll see that happen now.
Third down and goal inside the 2. Wilson hit hard, stood up, fell forward, didn't get there. Gossett, the first man to hit him. It'll bring up 4th and goal.
Boy, Joe Ragsdale is the fullback out there, and he started going to the left. Didn't see the man coming through the line that time. That was one of the backers that came through and popped Wilson there. And Wilson, instead of following Ragsdale, tried to cut it back and just got creamed.
Montbello going to call a timeout. We're going to step away with them. Just 5 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. 29-0. Cherry Creek all over the Warriors on Montbello. CET Sports.
This September on CET, journey behind the blast doors at NORAD under Cheyenne Mountain and discover why our national security starts here. And take a few lessons from the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. Plan the perfect family vacation on distant roads. Then see who's ready to make the run at a state title on the High School Football Weekly Show. It's all this September, only here on CET. Your life is a blank canvas, and you can paint it with whatever colors you choose. The Art of Living celebrates ordinary people from around the country who are living extraordinary lives. It's part of the Retirement Living series. Learn more about The Art of Living weekday afternoons at 1, right here on CET.
This is hardcore, baby. This is what it's all about.
So we're out here in the middle of nowhere. I ain't scared. Bring the mud holes. If you're into ATVing, then grab your helmet and come along for the adventures each week on Fisher's ATV World.
Back here at Legacy Stadium, 4th and goal. Cherry Creek gonna go for it here, up 29-0. Elway, quarterback sneak. Why not? 5 touchdowns scored this afternoon by the Bruins. Jack Elway has had his hand in all 5.
You know, I really thought maybe they'd run a little misdirection play, take the handoff, fake the handoff, that is, to Wilson going one way, have Elway roll out, maybe hit Ragsdale, maybe hit one of his tight ends. Pretty simple. Mano a mano, get the line up against what is a good offensive line up against that 3-4 that is packed into a 7-man front and just run them over.
Willenbrock to attempt the extra point. They go against Montbello. 35-0. Bruins lead. So we'll try it again. Again, the Bruins missed on an extra point attempt after the first touchdown of the game. Drop snap. Then a failed 2-point conversion. Boy, having a tough time again. It almost appeared as if McCauley, Corey, thought that a fake maybe was on, which obviously a fake was not on when you're up 35-0 with 5:26 to go. He fielded that cleanly, did he not?
Yeah, I thought he did. He may not have felt comfortable, though, with it. Hey, it's not a round ball. It's oblong. Maybe he was holding it a little differently. Afraid he wasn't going to get it down in time and decided just to go ahead and make the call, try to run something.
Nonetheless, 35-0. 5:26 to go. At 35, 5 touchdowns and a field goal.
Well, a 8-play, 56-yard drive that time. 3 minutes, 24 seconds for that 8-play drive there. A lot of it on the ground. Obviously, Wilson doing a lot of the work and finished off by Elway with the quarterback sneak.
Again, 5:26 to go in the game.
Well, do you squib it here again? I mean, obviously, Montbello's not going to come back on you here, but they burned you with a couple of very nice returns. They cured that by squibbing it the last time.
Willenbrock.
Or,
boy, he's hammered it every time he has kicked it from that direction. Now, he does have a little bit of a breeze behind him. When you do kick right to left, that's south to north out here at Legacy Stadium. But, man, he has punished the football in a few kickoffs this afternoon.
He really has. Yeah, that's one way to make sure there's no return. In college football, they've moved it back. I think they're kicking from the 30-yard line now.
And that is correct.
That'll be interesting to see how that impacts. I know there's a lot of legs in D1 that are still going to be able to boot it through the end zone. But when the wind starts whipping around a little bit, that's going to make a big difference in special teams.
And you're going to see fewer touchbacks, obviously, at the college game. If you can keep somebody inside the 30-yard line on a kickoff, special teams did their job. Oh, boy. Montbello put the football on the ground again. Johnson was able to fall on it, however.
Kind of a mix-up there. I think he had trouble pulling the ball back from Ryan Long that time because, he had – because Turner had kind of stopped his pitch route. They were running to the short side of the field. If Turner would have circled out, got up a good head of steam, he'd have been right out there so that even if that ball had been dropped, as it was by Johnson, Johnson still could have made that pitch, but Turner was not 4 steps away from him.
Loss of a couple yards on the play.
A little nuance to running an option. As a quarterback, you run straight down the line. You can't run backwards.
But straight toss this time to Kendall King. And King will bounce to the outside. Sizable gain of about 13 on the play for Kendall King.
Boy, nice run that time. Ran through an arm tackle. It slowed him up just a little bit, but did a nice job of continuing on that time. Sean Huber is in on the tackle that time. Well, we're going to start to see some of the juniors and sophomores get a little playing time defensively too, I think. Down to that point in the ball game here, so we kind of mingle in some guys, try to get them a little experience.
First down and 10, just the 4th first down of the game for the Montbello Warriors. King again to carry, straight up the middle, and there goes Kendall King. Montbello on the scoreboard at the 4:01 mark in the 4th. 69-yard touchdown run for Kendall King.
Probably could have happened about 15 seconds ago if a guy hadn't gotten that arm on him to slow him down, because, man, he hit the hole fast. And this time there was nobody in the backfield to even put a finger on him.
Montbello will attempt the extra point. Marcus Crowder back to attempt it. Crowder, one of their top wide receivers of a season ago, along with Andrew Davis. Davis now at the University of Oregon. As that extra point is up and good, we'll keep it here 35-7 now. And, you know, Corey, it's something we were talking about last week in that TJ Green Mountain game. And it's something you talk about in contests where really the outcome has been long decided long ago. But you're just looking for positives, looking for stuff to build on. And that certainly should help Montbello out a little bit as they have to go in and take on Mullen next week, which isn't the easiest of the tasks. But you build on that. You try to get better going from week 1 to week 2.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and the positives of the defense, too. The defense is played. I mean, you're going out against one of the premier offenses in Class 5A football here in Colorado. Now that we've played almost an entire ball game, we can say that and be pretty definite about it. This is one of the top offenses. Jack Elway getting good protection. He's making good decisions. Got a good, strong arm out there. He's got solid receivers. Again, he's got a good offensive line in front of him. So defensively, you've got to take a look at it at the end of the ball game. Pick out some things on the film that you did right. You made them punt a couple of times. You made them have to go a little bit longer. You were able to take over the field, where you set up on the field and really take charge of that for a short period of time. You learn from that.
Levy trying to stretch it to the outside. Boy, Levy possesses that game-breaking speed.
Yeah, and had not Tyree Yates got him around the ankles there, Levy was ready to break that one outside and take off.
Hey, Devon Levy, just a junior. Michael Wilson, only a junior. Two of the three running backs. Then Roman Holmes is the senior as Levy heads to the sideline.
Yeah, I think we're going to get Wilson to finish this out. No.
New quarterback, and it's Nick Kroll.
Brenton Thomas in the backfield there.
There's a fumble snap for Kroll. You get some of the youngsters out there, first varsity action. Nerves certainly play its part. 35-7 Bruins. Again, they were up 22-0 at halftime. He scored a touchdown on the third, a touchdown in the fourth. And Jack Elway in that offense, boy, you saw Johnson sitting to the right of Elway. Johnson's been a big play receiver, 6 catches, $123, and a touchdown for Alex Johnson. On the carry, Britton Thomas, he's a sophomore.
5'8", $150 out there. You're going to have to hit the weight room a little bit more, but at the same time, and I think this may be some of the things you mentioned. Cherry Creek's going to go play Fort Collins. Some of these guys are going to get a little bit more playing experience. Key thing is you get your varsity, you get your first teamers going, but it's nice to plug some of the younger guys in. That's going to be the case for Mullen. Mullen had some opportunities to do that last year. Yeah, they graduated 34 guys, but it's not like they have guys coming back that have never played football before, never played varsity. And the reason is because they're so good, they had some playing experience, and that's what Creek's kind of going to get experience a little bit here in these first 2 non-conference games.
Delay of game against Cherry Creek. Bring up third down at 16 with 2:29 to go.
You wonder when it gets to the point here in high school when they'll start putting radio receivers into quarterbacks' helmets and start calling the plays in. I don't think we're that far away. I mean, all the coaches have wireless units, both sides, Montbello and Cherry Creek. Just about everybody in 5A, I think, has that set up now.
And nothing going on 3rd and 16. Well, you look at the left side of that offensive line. How about Anthony Radney, number 79 for Cherry Creek. There you see him coming off the field. Radney, 6'4", 310. He's a junior.
Whoa, man among boys.
He's a big guy. That'll bring up 4th down and 16 for Cherry Creek. An offensive backup offensive line getting a little bit of experience. I know they would have liked to have that offensive series back. Marcus Crowder back to receive for Montbello. And Lucas Thompson to kick it away for Cherry Creek. Low snap gets it away. That's a good kick. I said it was Crowder back there, make it King. King had the big 69-yard run trying to make something happen here. Lost his footing as he crossed that 40-yard line.
Something that Coach Critchett said before the ball game, he said, it's scary when you play teams like Montbello because, you know, the record may not indicate it. Only had 2 wins last year, but they have such solid athletes. They scare you because they're so athletic that you really have to, you know, stay fundamental. You got to make sure you wrap these guys up because there's a lot of talent on the other side of the football. Last year, they just weren't able to put it together.
It's a Cherry Creek football team that is a much improved football team from a year ago. You and I both saw Creek last year a few times as King gets the carry to the right side. This is a better Cherry Creek team than the one we saw last year.
You know, I don't think that Creek performed up to where they thought they should be last year. I was a little surprised that they didn't go. Obviously, they ran into, you know, a team that had made it to the finals a year before when they got knocked out. They came off the emotion of beating Arvada West in a fantastic finish, you know, the week before going into that second-round matchup with Mullen. But at the same time, the Centennial Conference so tough. They lost a couple games last year they probably shouldn't have lost. Maybe not in the playoffs to Mullen, but I think they were a little disappointed with the way it finished out last year too.
2nd down and 5 inside a minute now to go in the game. Not much there. And on the stop for Cherry Creek, Charles Rice, the senior. And King not able to get those legs going that time. 28 seconds to go in the game.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Cherry Creek is going to hold on to their ranking at number 7 here in the CET top 10. That's for sure with that win. I mean, let's see how everybody else in the top 10 fares so far to this point. You know, this is the early game on Friday. Everybody else that was ranked has won last night and yet to play tonight.
That ball incomplete, and it'll stop the clock with 2.8 seconds to go. At Columbine getting Lakewood in the opening week of the season. And of course, Lakewood knocked them off last year, as you had mentioned earlier in the telecast, Corey. That opening game of the year. Boy, Columbine got their revenge in that playoff game, didn't they?
Yeah, they really
in
did.
The quarterfinals.
Well, that was the experience coming through, too. The Columbines used to be in there. For the Tigers, what a Cinderella season. But, I mean, eventually you knew it was going to go back to a pumpkin.
Mark Robinson, the Tigers rebuilding this year. Final play of the game. Here's King. Nothing there, and that'll do it. The Cherry Creek Bruins, the 7th ranked team of the state, and Jack Elway with his father John as the new quarterbacks coach, throws 4 touchdowns and runs for another to lead the Bruins in convincing fashion over the Montbello Warriors. Your final score here on a Friday afternoon from Legacy Stadium, 35-7. We'll be back with the postgame after this on CET Sports.
The Diamond Sky Ranch, right off Highway 285 in beautiful Conifer, Colorado, is the home of Tornado from the movie Legend of Zorro. We offer boarding, leasing, sales, and lessons to horse lovers of all ages and experience. Just 20 minutes from Denver, the Diamond Sky Ranch has some of the most breathtaking trails in Colorado. Get a closer look online at diamondskyranch.com or call 303-838-8202 to find out more.
Irreverent, fun, informative, entertaining, and unpredictable. That's what people are saying about the Aaron Harbor Show. Sit in on a personal conversation with some of Colorado's most recognizable figures. It doesn't matter if you are on the left or the right. You can't go wrong with the Aaron Harbor Show. All this month on CET.
5 minutes of taping, Shay.
Okay. Do I have time to tweeze?
Here, Shay, run this end of the mic down your shirt. And in 3, 2, 1, action.
Hi, I'm Shay Stewart, host of Colorado Homes on Demand. Join me here each weekend for an inside look at the Denver metro area's best new home communities. We'll talk to the builders, tour the models, and learn about some great ideas every homeowner can use. It's all right here on Colorado Homes on Demand.
Welcome back to Legacy Stadium here in Aurora, our post-game show on Comcast Entertainment Television. Brian Roth along with Corey Lopez back with you as Greg Critchett and those Cherry Creek Bruins, they get the victory over the Montbello Warriors. And Corey, our Skate City player of the game, who else? Jack Elway. Boy, people wondering just how good Jack Elway is. Well, I think that's still up in the air. I mean, we don't know. Obviously, the kid has a lot of talent, and there's Division I schools knocking down his door. But, boy, if today is any indication, he's going to have a very good senior season, 4 touchdown passes.
We'll know a little bit better 3-4 weeks into the season, certainly. Overland, Mullen coming up down the line. I know they've got Fort Collins coming up, but it was a good opening salvo for him. 5 touchdowns, over nearly 300 yards passing, ran one in, a quarterback sneak there. And I think at the same time, the offensive line did a nice job. That was something we keyed in on at the beginning of the ball game. You had 3 running backs out there that had big holes that they could run through. You did it against the team who's trying to find themselves. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. Everything that's happened here, but it's a nice way to start out. And, hey, 2007 football underway for the Bruins, and you got to win in the win column.
Meanwhile, for Montbello, obviously it was a tough afternoon. Corey, new coaching staff in there for the Warriors, and it's a tough opponent to open up against. The Warriors, what do they need to do as they move into next week? They did have the big 69-yard run by Kendall King at the end of the game to get him on the scoreboard.
You know what? And they had Tyree Yates with a nice job of a couple of returns out there for Montbello. I think their special teams look pretty good, especially on the returns. But here's the negative part of that. They had an awful lot of opportunity to return the football on kickoffs because of the way that Cherry Creek played. Their defense was good. I think you take some positives out of that. You're going against a high-flying team that was very balanced, very solid today. But your receivers, and I think they'll go back and look at this on film, those touchdown passes, hey, not much else the DBs could do. Elway's putting the ball where it needs to go, and the receivers are making the catches. The only thing you can really do is tackle them before the ball gets there in a couple of cases because the ball was thrown so well.
35-7, that's your final score. Again, the Bruins knock off Montbello here in the season opener in the 7th-ranked Cherry Creek Bruins to go to 1-0. For the entire broadcast crew here this afternoon, including our director, Tim Davis, and my broadcast partner, Corey Lopez, I'm Brian Roth saying so long from Legacy Stadium. Again, 35-7, Cherry Creek victorious tonight.
Dan Hawk.